Good evening. I'm Gina. This is To the Inner Wilds. I welcome you, at least to just like tune in. I don't welcome you into my home. No, thanks. No thanks. I got enough of that bullshit. But I have to be very careful with my words. I forget sometimes. And I'm reminded at this point, when it's like chill, especially with all these energies abound, the feed that I get is just crazy. Music I've never heard of. I'm like, the kind. Music that I've never heard before. And then music that I haven't heard in a long time. We're talking years and years and years and years. And anyway, they give me messages. I don't even have to listen to all the lyrics. I don't even have to listen to any of the lyrics. Just the title alone or the imagery is crazy. But one thing I know is happening right now is karma is being a bitch to some. So, coming into play. Anyway, I forgot because the ancestors are alive and kicking. And kicking ass for those who kick ass. You know? So, that's where we're at. And, I'm just like, it's like all of these random recollections. Let's call them synchronous, because nothing is ever random. And like, even the places that I go, people even using their babies as like bumpers to stop me, you know, from like, there's plenty of fucking room in the middle of the night to navigate. But to run into the same instance of a person, no. So I know that people are just, you know, stupid with their energy and so irresponsible. But I'm keeping note. I noticed who leans into my energy. I know that there's some kind of a collaboration, paid partnership thing going on. And, you know, that money is going to run out. Your luck is going to run out. It's ridiculous. Anyway, what was I going to tell you? Very, very strange. But, you know, karma's coming, you know, so all the greedy hands want to, like, I want a piece. Yeah. You're going to get that instead. I'm recollecting also when I spoke with my boss about all the bullshit that was going on. Before I firmly put in my 2-week notice, before I talked to my recruiter, talked to her, and she knew what I was talking about. I thought she was just restricting her verbiage only because she's, you know, she's in management, but no, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, her particular words are like, okay, how about this? Like, as long as you're okay, you know, like with this whole thing, you know, trying to shove words of like, words into my mouth. She said, okay, so how about you work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, instead of just Monday and Friday remotely, just Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And when I've been coming in every single day. I said, okay, well, that's a start. And we'll do like a phone-in, check-in kind of thing. So we kind of did that. I set up that on the calendar, you know, what made the most sense. And then what happened? And then she said, I just want during the most high traffic times, I'm like, that's the least, you know, if I don't need to be in the office, then I don't need to be in the office to carry out my job. If there's anything physically like man labor type of thing, then I'll be in the office. But she, instead of me bidding for like 4, she just gave me the 3. So I'm like, okay, I can negotiate. This is fine. I wanted to see where it was going. And then she said, very carefully, she said, I just want to make sure that the team knows that you're accessible, for help and all of that. And she used the word accessible. I was like, yeah, I understand the essence of team and how important that is within the culture, especially coming from my role. People, I'm available to help. But the fact is that she used that word, accessible. It wasn't until it was a red flag from me, absolutely, when some other content creator mentioned something about energy work and used the reference of accessible. You don't make yourself accessible to everyone, because you understand that there's energy exchanges and within, proximity or, within the allowance. And I was like, holy shit. My boss was like trying to use me, siphon my energy amongst several of my peers when all of them, including my boss, honestly are underlings. When we're looking at responsibilities and roles and suits of power and just really being, how do I say it? If we were to establish a hierarchy, I would be at the top. Let's put it that way. Let's not lie about it. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's just tell it like it is. She's pulling the moves that I've guided her to do. I'm like in my head, I'm thinking like, what a fucking bitch. But she got her horrible migraine, tapping into my energy, and she's going to continue to get what she deserves from fucking around. That's just the way the ball bounces, right? Yeah. And insane. That's insane. So anyway, my ancestors have taken note. They're looking at all the receipts. And now it's time to give back the gift of what? Grit, integrity. I don't know what the other, whatever. Insane. So, let's look at the Starman Tarot. You like my witchy Vato outfit? It's my gangster, witchy gangster vibe. That's what's going on. Okay. Starman Tarot. Here we go. Angels of light and love, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages. And also protect my space and my channeling. All right. No extras. It's crazy. It's a jungle out there. But that's crazy. No wonder these, okay, so I'm recollecting also moving backwards to when we had like our little powwows and covens came to round up and brainstorm ideas. Like, they get their best just because of my presence there. They're siphoning energies. Like, creative ideas from me. And I know this sounds like so out of the ordinary. Well, it is. But I've noticed the patterning between different jobs, especially the one that I, just left before this one. Hi. How are you? So I'm noticing the siphoning of energies. And it's funny because I realize that they did not recall during a separate other brainstorming sessions that were more intimate within work, that they forgot their like wonderful ideas that I remembered even without jotting them down, but I jotted them down. So I reminded them, and they looked so surprised because they forgot it, because it wasn't really their own. So I'm just teaching you, I'm just sharing with the crew here that those are unique identifiers to know when your energy is being siphoned. When the people that come up with these creative ideas at work or whatever grouping you're in forget about what they've divulged, what they've shared, because it wasn't their idea. They took it from your energy. They took it from your solar plexus chakra. And the more engaged you are within the team play, you don't realize it because you're amped, you're full, you're filling that cup constantly, you're activated, you're engaged, you want to share, and so they take that from you. I'm just here because I saw you recently tagged a basenet post. Oh, we're still repping someone who's... Oh, it's not the person. I'm not representing someone who did bad things a couple of years ago. That's not like my thing. I don't favor him. I don't favor people who do awful things. I don't revere him. I don't. It might come off as promoting, but I have a small head count, and that's not my purpose. It's how do I say this? Okay. So all of us are co-creators, regardless if we do like good things or bad things, or fluctuate in our lives, between this or that. So when you're when you pinpoint, let's say, base nectar, I totally understand that, because I was wondering, like, what the heck? I didn't even realize this until like the third or fourth time that I tagged him, just like any other, people that I tag. It's not there's no like, I do it because I associate it with a certain creator, what they brought into this world, which is good music. It's not, how do I say it? I don't discriminate people's artwork based on what they've done. Like, I don't have any personal tie to Base Nectar. I don't endorse what he does when it comes to his personal life, and I don't glorify him because those things are awful. I've been on the other end of that stick. But I really do like what has been put out there as far as being tapped into source and creation, regardless if you're shitty in your character. That's you're gone now. Okay, well, I think that's all that. Oh, you're there again. I mean, do you want a dialogue? I have no problem. I would like to hear what you have to say. Like, if you have any rebuttals, I just I don't discriminate those characters, because if you're going to do that, you're going to discriminate a lot of people. I mean, if you're a fellow spiritualist, or have engaged in different energy work, or just felt the vibes of wherever you're at, that there's like some shitty characters out there. But to completely like cancel everybody out that has done something like awful, you'd get rid of like over half of the population. You would get rid of, let's say, 80% of the population. It would be like full-blown Thanos, you know? So, he's not like on my inner circle or anything like that, but I don't know, what is your input on it? I mean, because I've been on the other end of like shitty characters like that. But I can separate somebody's creation from, what they've done, who they are. Like, I heard Salvador Dali was pretty shitty, but, like, amazing work. I forget, one classical music artist, they do, like, hypnotic type of work, that's associated with almost like Freemasonry, very, like, dark work, let's see here. I personally don't believe that we should just write off people's behavior on the fact that other people are bad too. Oh, okay. So you agree to that part of it. Yeah, the whole rapist thing, yeah, definitely not. It's like, even if he engaged in not going that far, maybe just like one step behind, that's still shitty, And I've been there, and it's something you don't forget. So, yeah, so I'm able to separate between the two. Yeah, I mean, like, even with my workplace, regular 9 to 5, I encounter such shitty energy, like the shittiest ever. And it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, like, I work in a very high profile, like, high class city. We have responsibility and the ability in today's world to call these behaviors out and to hold these people accountable. For sure, definitely. And I think sometimes it's like, okay, if I'm, shoving work out there that he's done. And also I realized that Datsik also, is part of that, like, whole thing. Like, So, I just, what was I gonna say? When you kind of poke people, like, when I tag people, I realize that they can't scoot their stuff underneath the carpet. They can't escape the things that they've done. I can say that, like, hey, this is great work. You can pick yourself back up and stop being shitty. But at the same time, like, it's also a reminder to them what their past is, and they can either, like, hide from it and, continue to, like, live in guilt and, be a recluse and, just be, like, kind of like a discarded figure. But, like, that doesn't make anything really better. But I feel like whatever I'm doing is kind of neutral. It works in more positive ways than anything. Just because, like, celebrities are people too, just like regular people. And Hollywood, is like amplifies the crappy behavior. So I just it's a constant reminder, like, they can't escape that. It's everywhere. Oh, thanks for the convo. I just think no matter what size your platform is, you shouldn't promote someone who has caused so much harm. I understand that. Of course, thank you for the convo as well. I think that's really cool of you. Yeah, not my absolute favorite, but, like, my... Because you seem genuinely sweet and wanting to help folks, but he has really done so much irreparable harm. Yeah. A lot of people have, in the dark, and more than most realize. So, I stick to my guns as far as, like, not having to cancel out people completely, but like I'm not saying like I'm not wearing base nectar gear. I'm not throwing on patches or anything. It's just like there's messaging in the work that he does, and it doesn't, that messaging alone doesn't, speak of that. But his character, just like Kobe or whoever, like cheaters, who like take advantage of their power. Yeah. And I'm sure you don't want to be associated with a serial statutory rapist. Of course not. No, of course not. In fact, like I think it's so wonderful that you're here, because that topic, I was just waiting for somebody to address it. It's because him and That Sick are just two major ones that like have been canceled out. Like people don't want to work with them, they're not trustworthy, etc. Just like it's just bad association, bad blood, bad vibes. And I get that. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that to clear the air, because there's just so much to talk about. I'm glad that was put on the table. I'm sure my rationale will develop over time, but I feel like this is kind of the right thing for me to, it's a topic that isn't dead for sure. Yeah. But those are my initial thoughts on it. If I felt it was like absolutely wrong, oh, so sweet. I love. Yes. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. But if I felt like Spirit was like absolutely not that, then I would refrain from, putting that up. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm not saying that Spirit or anyone of the divine is saying like, yeah, he can still pass. It's not about that. It's about the messaging behind what we create, what we put out into this world that is, freeing, that kind of works as a channel, as, to keep from those behaviors. Yeah. Yeah, because Spirit is like synonymous. Whatever like really makes us happy, like purely in joy, I think we all kind of understand wherever walk of life we're in. But yeah, okay. That was cute. Hi there, how are you doing? I saw you pop in. How was your day? How was your weekend? I didn't think I was going to have a conversation like that for a while. But that's... Life is filled with so many surprises. Like, I didn't know, because I figured I would have to, The star in reverse. Okay. Well, so what were we saying about the star in reverse? Busy. I was near your city yesterday. I had to go to Micro Center. Oh! That is such a... That is, like the man cave of techies. It's funny. It's funny. I've never seen like so many like dudes of different colors and types and shapes and sizes and, just having at it. Like, everybody was friend energy there. It's crazy. And you can tell like who's really boss and who's not. Like, oh yeah, he knows everything, and everybody, like all the other employees, like, bow to him, and it's funny. I think it's hilarious. What do you mean, me neither? But yeah, this Oh gosh. Okay, so what hits the star card? Three of Pentacles in reverse. Talking about deconstructing. Oh, you know what? A star is dying out. What the heck? What does that mean? Because when I figured, okay, the star is in reverse, either it's like growing in size or diminishing. And I think stars like get smaller, don't they? But then when I think of the sun, is it bigger? I don't know. I don't know my cosmic stuff as well. You know, book-wise. You haven't been there in years. I just realized it existed this year. Anyway. Actually, for sure stars expand. Okay. I thought when they die out, they just kind of like, whoosh. I thought so when I thought of the sun, that they expand, but I think that's just, it's been like old knowledge. So, a star is in the making. This one necessarily isn't about deconstruction. Okay. This is in the becoming, the star, right? They turn to nebulas or dark holes. Oh, yeah. Dark holes, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you for adding some pep into here. Because I forget. And it's so interesting. Okay, so this is a growth period where it's just like kind of, it's like so dark out there that to build a light, to be, seen from afar, you just have to grow, right? So, but it's next to, like, what hit it was the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Now, for this one, I don't get that it's deconstructing just because of the imagery. Instead of like balancing on top, like doing the most, extreme balance, to get from like small, this is very acrobatic, like it's starting like from the ground up, right? So it's starting at base level, to expand that. Yeah. Like taking it easy on yourself within the growth process. Like you start out from somewhere, right? And this is still a balancing act, but Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's being more practical with your resources here. What makes the most sense. So there is an implication of deconstructing, but it's also like, I think it's deconstructing as far as like how we approach things, but we're still approaching it. Like behind the scenes, like practicing like our juggling or practicing a magic trick. It's that. I mean, let me go ahead and read it in the book. Because, I mean, it looks so different. I don't know if it's going to vibe, but let's see. Three of Pentacles. Did you catch on to that conversation? I want to know what your thoughts are on it. Because I know, like, serious topics like those topics like that are very, like, sensitive. And I know that if I don't know, if it was firm, I mean, not really. Okay, let me read this part first, and I'll engage you in just a second. Reverse. There is a fine line between vocation and obsession, and a danger in crossing it. Obsession The addiction to perfection leaves no space for anything else to show up in life. It results in isolation, self-neglect, and loss of balance. When all of our eggs are put in one basket and it's knocked over, smashed, our lives are devastated. There's nothing left, no other role. So that's if it were in reverse, which it is, but I think that's what it's... Hey. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I think I read it correctly, because it's deconstructing like our thoughts surrounding how, to be like this. When we're growing, like as far as what that looks like, we're being more practical with our approach, and like, okay, this makes the most sense for me to start off on improving from there. But we need to get the basics down first. And that's what this is. Getting the basics down first. Before, like, our light really shows. I don't know. I don't know. What's the deal? So what are my basics? Do you really... I won't get upset. But, from your standpoint... Oh my gosh. I'm drooling. Candy! Do you think I'm trying to perfect everything? That I'm obsessed about perfecting things? I don't feel like it. Am I perfecting things? I don't think I am. Sometimes I feel like I'm like that. Like, you rewind 2 years back when I first started. Yeah, I was insecure about stuff. And, I would edit a lot. No lives. I didn't even realize I could do that. But, what would I do? Yeah, but now, like, you'll see, like, my necklace, like, sometimes, like, kind of, like, funky, like, really, really messed up, and my stuff here, so I don't think I'm bent on it. I can't make that judgment. I only see you doing this. Well, I don't think I'm perfecting it. Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think I'm a people pleaser? There's a part of me that kind of maybe thinks that, because I'm asking you about your opinion on a conversation that happened, that was like closing when you just arrived. But I'm just wondering. I don't think that's about obsession or perfection. Let's ask for clarification. Have you tried these? Maybe I just have standards. I don't know. Oh, I was going to ask you. Okay. So, this person dropped in because she or he saw, most likely it's she because of the topic, but saw that I tagged like base nectar and others that she only like pinpointed that one, but how do I say it? They canceled him out because he was known to like to be a rapist and a serial rapist and just an offender, a sex offender, let's say that. Yeah, and she said that or that person, let's just say that person, you know, believes that, like, with any crowd size that you have, that there's a responsibility to, you know, not promote certain people when it comes to that. So I think this person really, how do I say it? I don't know. So she was just this person was just trying to understand where I was coming from, endorsing, like almost endorsing, or putting the name back out there. And like kind of almost like, I think where that person was coming from was like almost building up a fan base surrounding that person. But the thing is that, like, you know me, used to love them. Okay, so you used to love them. Yeah, like I can separate creation from the creator, like in a certain way, because like if you're making something that like truly inspires others, and that that inspires you, that you're fully engaged in, that's spirit, right? Like in the most positive context of co-creative forces, and being a channel of that. If they just like did more of that, more purely like done, then, excuse me, then like that keeps people from engaging in like heinous like activities. You know what I mean? Yes, most artists are a little crazy, for real. Yeah. That's what makes it beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I just saw something on, I don't know, a month or two ago on Salvador Dali. They're like amazing work. So, and people can't escape their ill, like all the, people cannot escape the things that they've done wrong. You know? Especially to that degree. But I don't think it's fair, you know, to completely cancel out people. Because as I'm learning, if one were really to tap in, we would cancel out more than half of the population. Well over half. Easily. And so, you know, you gotta give people like a chance as far as like their purpose out here. Because, you know, if you're gonna cancel them out, like what are they gonna do? Like what, you know, it's like discarding people, right? So like, I don't know. I don't know. I just like it doesn't make sense to void out people completely. Like, what do they do for the rest of their lives? Like, just kind of live in a cave, like off in like the islands somewhere. You know, like where, what happens to them? They're just gonna live like in guilt like the whole way through until they die, and they can't like make anything else. Like they won't be acknowledged as anything. They're just like, that's it for them. Because there's so many of those. You know, so yeah, so everyone is too sensitive. In his situation, he's a very popular DJ. A lot comes with that, including responsibility. For sure. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I still, yeah, so anyway, I just, Angels of Love and Light. Do you have anything else to say pertaining to that, because obviously it's coming into play in this reading. Yeah, I think so, with the Star in reverse. And, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's like a breakdown, but you also have to start back, get back up and start from somewhere. You got to rebuild. And we're just talking about nebulas versus black holes, right? Angels of Love and Light, do you have anything to say pertaining to that particular thing? Like, did I miss anything? I was like, I'm open to your input, of course. So what is it you would want to say with regards to that? Because if you take someone's ability, like if you kind of withhold or oust someone from doing what they absolutely like love doing and are excellent at doing, then you're taking away like a prime channel from, kind of, I don't know. Like, let's say, Tony Hawk builds skate parks in neighborhoods that like are struck with poverty, and that's basically to give an outlet to our youth, to keep them kind of like off the streets, just engaged in like a physical activity, challenges that are like, that are independent, and so like that's a channel in itself. And if you're to take away that, then it's like, it's the same concept. Anything else, angels? Like, should we say anything else with regards to that? I don't know. No, they don't stop him from doing his thing. They just remove all platforms to perform. Well, yeah. I mean, just along with the same thing. He can still do it, but just like he needs, like, it's in a different way, starting with basics again. But yeah, they can take away his platform, yeah. But, do you know how many artists I tag? And it's to show them like their creation has some divine meaning to it. That it doesn't have to be like so cut and dry, black and white. There's applicable meanings. I just didn't. And it's co-creative forces. It's collaboration from artist to artist. It's an acknowledgement that what they're doing isn't just like what they solely intended, but there's also divine backing to its applications. So anyway, anything else? Am I supposed to address it, or like is that it? Like, because there's no cards coming out. Okay, let's just pull one. Okay. The Empress in reverse. And then these two wanted to come out. Five of Pentacles and Queen of Wands. Huh. I don't know what I want to say to that. Oh, you said you agree? Okay. That's cool. I think the person that left, agreed to some things, but the final piece of it was just like overall the vibe was just not, they were just not having it, you know, that if it was their own platform, they would not, you know, even give them, those figures, a second thought or a second chance or, you know, any kind of consideration. And, you know, I just know from where I'm coming from that there's a lot of middle ground in there where I can side with the vibes of it. But like this is a lot of thought process because I have to think about like all the dudes that sucked in my life, you know. Yeah. She just wanted to be... No, she was not. No, this person was not. I don't think this person was trolling because they said like that they thought like I was honestly, you know, putting in the effort and, you know, not an internet thug or talking shit. Definitely not talking shit. It was a dialogue. It was an honest dialogue. Like it wasn't like no throwing elbows either. Nothing like that. No throwing fists, no throwing elbows. It was completely civilized. I just we kind of like understood each other, but there were certain points that, you know, engaging more thought. I like having those conversations. I hate don't talk to me about the weather. Please don't talk to me about the weather, or like just don't do it. I strongly advise you not to. To take time out of her life to ask you about that was obviously looking for something. You know, that person could have been victimized too, you know, or they could have known, you know, the victims of those, you know, of things like that. Yeah, there are worse. I have to admit, there are worse people. You know, there are worse doings out there. And it's not to, like, pat them on the head either. I'm just, like, was curious. Like, yeah. I don't know. Spirit tells me. Spirit tells me if it's, like, an absolute no-no. Like, or, like, even a semi-no-no. Spirit tells me. So I sometimes like I don't like dissect everything when I'm told that, you know. So anyway, the Empress in reverse, okay, which also goes with the Star in reverse. The clarifiers to the Three of Pentacles in reverse would be the Queen of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So what the angels are saying is, like, this is for anyone, okay? To be at the very best that you can be within your divine seeding, within receptivity, tapped into the divine, and just like, yeah, just being at your very best and like open to the world. You have to really engage, like believe in your magic. Even when, you know, you're left out in the cold, like believe in your magic. Like be a warrior. Like even if you did bad things before and that's no longer who you are, like what you're doing, what you're about, you know, you like you could still be badass. Like that's for reals. You can still like kind of rectify you know, your artistry, that you can still create. Like this is a witch in the deck, And it's knowing your power and being in control of that, not letting your magic control you, not letting your power control you. This is discipline, and that's why it makes this figure like highly attractive. Whether you're masculine or feminine, this is, or male or female, this is what they were talking about. And knowing that, like, even if like your reputation is all fucked up, and by your own hand, you know, being in reversal, that like being left out in the cold, what is it, feeling at a lacking in any kind of way. Let me just pull the card out for those that are like kind of intro to this. But everybody, like, the Five of Pentacles is like, it does not feel good. You're like cast out. You're an outcast. That's really what it is. Excuse me. You're canceled. You're in some implication you're done for, but you know, you're still alive. There's work that still needs to be done, and you know, each of us has a divine blueprint. Each of us has purpose, so finding it amidst, like, even when you like make absolute mistakes, there's the Five of Pentacles right there. Like, really feeling in poverty. That like you can still do that, okay? That even though your reputation, you like something you can't escape, the things that you've done you can't escape, is still like bucking up and still you know, salvaging what you can. And that's all you can do. It's just like be your very best. That's it. Like that's it. That's all. Either that or you become a victim, just as, you know, like you, it doesn't, you know, that's what they're saying. Plain and simple is what they're saying. Like, that's it. Six of Swords in reverse. So finding that calmer waters, like, yeah, that's what it is. And engaging in your inner spirit, like, it's being very real with yourself. Like, this is upright, okay? So this is like ancestral, guiding like the inner child, right? So our ancestors know, likely because sometimes the shitty behavior that we do comes on cycle and is deep rooted from like our ancestry, that's handed down from generation to generation. So it might not be that in its exact form, but there might be like control issues or like something very deep rooted within our ancestry. So it's finding the calmer waters, okay, or like letting them be, finding them through reconnecting with your inner child spirit, because what you really, really love doing, like even with your eyes closed, like it's just like it's something that flows through you, like a piece of artwork, right, in action. Our ancestors are guiding us through it. Yeah, you see the gestation there? It's a fetus. So, yeah. So some of that is like also quieting the noise of what this looks like. And again, not letting your power and your magic control you. That's number one. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? What is it? Oh, okay, so these two came out. Princess or Page of Swords muted, and Seven of Wands pronounced. These fell over to the side. Prince of Cups, so Knight of Cups, King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and King of Wands. There's a lot of backlash here. Like, yeah. So, on the receptivity side, you may not be welcome. Like, this is it. It's re-emphasizing this within a total of 4 cards. But it's not to discourage anyone from doing what, from these characters doing. Like, why am I doing this? Is so crazy. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to read it. Because this also relates to, am I supposed to be reading this? I'm supposed to read it. Yeah, like, almost like the Five of Pentacles, the reputation is kind of set in stone. Like, what's out there, you cannot, like, take back. Whether it's publicized or even the energy put out there. It's, the universe knows it. Like, it's... like, you're not going to get the same opportunities. Sorry, I'm also looking at what that means for, like, my work environment, because I know that I'm putting out good energy. I know I am, but when it comes down to their stuff, what does that mean for them? Like, I'm just trying to listen into what that means for me or them, or, you know. Okay, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm just supposed to read the cards. I forget. That's what gets us all hung up in, like, a little much. Okay. Let's focus back over here. So, it's not being able to have the same platforms. You see, there's a platform right there. This is the Ace of Pentacles working on your, mastery, but it's in reverse. So it's not being provided the same platforms, the same, like, notoriety, not the same credibility even. King of Wands, King of Cups, like, totally, like, badass, like, highly coveted, like, well respected, even like bachelor, like, wanted. So that's on, like, the recipient side. So there's karma already, like, in the works of that, but that shouldn't stop anyone, like these people, from doing what inspires them, like artwork. So what came in here was the Page of Swords muted and the Seven of Wands pronounced. I think 100%. This is something that they really, really need to focus on. That you have to be, like, absolutely honest with yourself, in what you're doing, like what your endeavors are, like. Kind of. It's like getting the higher point of view, but this is, like, internalized, right? So it's, like, giving me, like, Spider-Man ninja type of vibes, okay? So, like, standing above it, because this is pronounced Seven of Wands, which is literally, like, above ground. It's not something, like, you can prove to anyone else, but just knowing that when you're engaging and, like, being your very best and doing your very best rather than, like, the most, that already gives you leverage. yeah, it just gives you leverage. Like in the spiritual realm, like, what else can you do? Because, like, any energy that we put out there is, like, for the collective. So if you doom someone who's done, like, something wrong to, like, completely, like, a shitty life, you're also, you know, giving, like, prolonging that, you know, type of, like, yucky vibe for the rest of, you know, their livelihood, you know, for the collective. Like, that's, you have to want, like, the best for people. And at some point, you know, they'll hopefully, like, get there. But yeah, so that's that. Okay. Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah, Spirit's saying that they're, like, open to start this process, you know, of, yeah, I mean, you can't lie about your situation. I mean, that's, yeah. I mean, what can you do? Like, when it's the same kind of thing. Like, if somebody gets knocked down, what do you, like, do you want them to stay down? I don't understand. Like, I don't, and it's, I don't know. Because I think about my ex, like my very, very first ex, right? Or even, like, all, you know, just like all the shitty characters, right? And I don't know, I just kind of, like, want to move on with my life. That's it. So it's not like I want to make them pay. Like, it's better if the divine just takes care of it behind, you know, like, just takes care of it, and I can just move on with my life, you know. I don't know what would happen if I saw them again. I don't know how I would feel about that. I'm just, like, glad that I moved on. And, you know, it's just easier for my energy, like, not to look that way. And it's best for the collective that, like, if that person is, like, doing the same shitty behavior, that I'm like, yeah, I knew it was gonna be like that. I knew you were gonna, you know, that's not good. So although, like, I'm not, how do I say it? I'm not invested in what's going on the other side of the fence, okay? I'm not invested in what's happening for them. They've got to figure that part out. I'm more invested in, like, what I'm doing at this point. Like, I'm not attached to that anymore. Like, I don't, my interest is not there. So, you know, I think that's the way to go. You know, depends on the situation for me. What do you mean? Six of Wands in reverse. So there's pending victory in that, you know. Everything is a process, and this one is not going to be an easy one because there's karma attached to it, like live karma. So it's like, it's the decision of, you know, people that have done these things, like whether they want to, you know, live their life within, you know, that carved out reality, or, you know, start